Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Anne. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful short kimono bubu dress. So let's get straight to the tutorial. So I have my 3 yards of fabric. I have my pair of scissors. I have my chalk, my measuring tape, and then my long ruler. So let's get straight to the tutorial. So guys, considering my shoulder measurement, that is my crossback shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches, I'll divide that into 2 plus my sleeve length. So that is what I will consider to fold this. This is going to be the front part of the dress. That's what I'll be considering to fold the front part of the dress like so. So 16 inches divided by 2 gives me 8 inches plus the sleeve length, which is 8 inches. So that will be 16 plus 2 inches extra allowance. Now the vertical measurement, I'll go down to my bust line, which is 10 inches. I'll mark that on my fabric. I'll go down to my waist measurement, which is 16 inches from shoulder to waist, 16 inches. I'll go to my hip, which is 24 inches, and then the full length of the dress, which is 42 inches. And the rest, the end of the fabric will be for my hemming allowance. So I will just do the marking at the end of this from my shoulder to my bust line, 10 inches, to my waist, 16, to my hip line, 24 inches, and the full length, which is 42 inches. So I use my long ruler to straighten up the lines. So guys, after straightening the lines, I'll move on to mark that of my chest line. So my chest line from my shoulder to my chest line will be my bust line divided by 6 inches plus 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So that gives me 8 inches. So that's what I marked over there. To get your chest line, you need to divide your bust measurement by 6 inches plus 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So this is my bust line and this is my chest line, my waistline there, and then my hip line. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark that of my shoulder line, which is 16 inches divided by 2. That gives me 8 inches. So that's what I'm marking. 8 inches. So that's what I'm marking. I'll straighten that up as well. So now I'll go ahead and then mark the neckline for this, for the front part of the dress. So I'll go in by 3.5 inches. You can make it 3 inches or more. Then I'll go down by 5 inches for the depth of the neckline. So the width of the neckline is 3.5 inches and then the depth is 5 inches. This is optional. You do that according to your preference. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a round neckline. You can give it a V or any shape that you prefer. So guys, since this is somehow like a loose dress, I'll be adding 1 inch extra allowance to the measurement. So now I'll go ahead and mark that of my bust line, which is my bust line divided by 4 plus 1 inch extra allowance. So my bust divided by 4 gives me 10 inches. So I added 1 inch extra allowance. So that's exactly what I'll be doing for the waistline as well. My waist measurement divided by 4 inches plus 1 inch extra allowance. I will do same for the hip measurement as well. My hip measurement divided by 4 inches plus 1 inch extra allowance. So guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like this video, leave a comment in the comment section on whatever parts of the video that you didn't understand. Share this video and let's keep this family moving. Now I'll go to the hem of the dress. The full length, I forgot to mark that as well. So I'm just going to mark it and then do the needful. So now for the full length of the dress, the hem, I'll use the same measurement that I used for the hip as well. This will enable ease of movement. It's sort of a loose dress, so yeah. So I went ahead and then connected the lines together like so. Okay guys, so now I'll move on with the necessary adjustments. So the hip measurement, I'm going to go ahead and then add extra 5 inches. This is optional. It depends on your preference how voluminous you want that side to be. So I added 5 inches extra allowance. Okay, so now I'm going down by 1.5 inches from the waistline. I went down by 1.5 inches on the waistline. So I went ahead to use my long rule to straighten that point, Okay, so using my curve ruler, I'm going to join the new adjusted waist to the hip point like this. I joined it like this. Now on the hemline, I'm going to go up by 6 inches. You can go less. Okay, so after going up 6 inches, I'll use my curve ruler to join that to the hip line as well. So I'll make sure to curve the hip area, not to make it pointy. So like this. And connect the waistline as well. Okay, so I'll add 2 inches extra allowance or sewing allowance to this and then join them together. Like I said, I added 2 inches seam allowance to the measurement as seen and join them together. So since we are cutting the sleeves together with the dress, the sleeve length is 8 inches. So I'm going to add 2 inches extra allowance or sewing allowance to it. So that makes 10 inches. So that's what I'm going to mark. So after that, I went down from the chest line 1 inch like so. And then kept it to join the chest line like so. So you can as well use the exact around sleeve measurement of your client or yourself to mark this out. So guys, like I said, after marking and everything, we are going to cut out the front part of the dress. So guys, these are front parts of the dress. So this is what I've been using to cut the back parts of the dress. Basically, this is going to be the same measurements exception of the neckline depth. Exception of the depth of the neckline. So I'll go down from the shoulder down at 2.5 inches or 3 inches, depending on how long or how short you want your neckline to be. Then I will cut that out as well. Aside the neckline, we are basically using the same measurement for the back parts of the dress. Remember, like I said, this is a loose kind of dress. So I'll go ahead and then get some facing for both the front part and the back part of the dress. So I already behind the camera cut the facing for them. So this is for the front part of the dress. This is the facing for the front part of the dress, and then that's the facing for the back part of the dress. Now for the back part of the dress, I'm going to give it a slit open at the back like this. I'm going to give it a slit open 5 inches is okay. I'll do same for the facing as well. So guys, after slit opening the back facing, I will go ahead and then apply my stay on both the front parts and the back parts, pin them down, and then take it to the sewing machine to stitch round with 1/2 inch. So this is it after taking it to the sewing machine to stitch around or join the facing to that. So I give it some notches like so. You can equally pipe the neckline if you want. So I give it some notches. So guys, after that I'll flip the facing over to the wrong side of the dress and then flat iron it. So after flat iron the front part of the dress, I'll do same for that of the back part of the dress. So like I said, I did same for the back part of the dress with the facing. So I'm going to join the shoulders together like so. I'll join them with 1/2 inch. I'm taking to the same machine, so hold on, I'll be back. So this is it after taking it to the same machine to join the shoulders together. This is how it looks like. So now I'm going to mark the allowances from it, but then I will join pocket to it. So this is it according to your preference, how long or how short you want your pocket. So I cut out of my pocket and then make sure I went down by 18 inches and then attach the pocket to the hip line like you're seeing. I'll pin it down. I'll do same for both sides and both the front and the back parts of the dress, same area. Make sure they are equal before you join them together. So like I said, we are joining the pocket to both the front parts and the back parts of the dress with the right side facing each other. So this is how, make sure they are equal. You pin it down before we take it to the sewing machine to join them. So after this, I'll do same for the other side of my dress and join them with 1/2 inch on the sewing machine. Okay guys, so this is it after I took it to the same machine to join the pocket to the dress. I also went ahead and then folded in the 2 inches allowance we added to the sleeve length and stitch it down. So guys, I flipped it to the other side, which I make the marking earlier on. So this is it. This is how we are going to be stitching the the pocket on it. So I'll mark my around sleeve, which is 8 inches. That is 16 divided by 2. I will later make it 14 because I realized it was so big. So I'll later make it 14, which is supposed to be 7 inches. So I join it to the chest line, my bust line, and then from the waistline, I'll curve to the pocket area and sew around the pocket with 1/2 of an inch, and then join it to the curve area and stitch it down to the hem of the dress. Exactly so. I'll do same for the other side of my dress. So guys, this is how the other side also looks like. Like I said, I will join the waistline to my pocket and sew it down. So this is how it looks like after I join them together. That is our voluminous hips. Like I said, how volume you want the hip area to be depends on you. So now the extra allowance that I added for the hemline, I also folded it in. First of all, I'll fold in 1/2 of an inch and then fold the rest in and then stitch it all around. So this is how our dress looks like. You can also hem the facing to the dress as well. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like this video, leave a comment on where you didn't understand. Bye.